Well, peace and love, family. Shalom, shalom. Paris Krishna Armani here. And I am going to speak briefly on the whole um, Monique Parker. I don't even know if that's her real last name, but I watched her from The Parkers. I think that was the name of the show, where she played the mom, little comedy show with, I can't remember the chubby girl. And I swear I'm not trying to be funny. You guys all know the show that Monique Parker got famous on, where she had the crush on the professor and the girl from the Divas. I cannot think of her name. Countess Vaughn. Yes, that show. So, anyways, yeah, I liked that show back in the day. And apparently, Monique won an Oscar in the film Precious, which I personally felt that Oscar was just a setup. I mean, she played this abusive mom to her daughter who turned a blind eye to her boyfriend or lover molesting her child and impregnating her child. And I think even the mom, the role she played, she sexually abused her own daughter, Precious. And I don't know what to think of that movie. It was a little twisted. And she won an Oscar for that. Okay. Granted, she's an Oscar winner. And she wants to be paid millions of dollars to be featured on a Netflix film. And apparently Netflix only wanted to offer her $500K, which is a lot more than what she got on the Oscar film Precious. She got paid $50K. Well, she should have received $1.85 million, according to an article that I read, where she was supposed to get the $50K plus 5%. So that movie made like 30-something million in revenue, profit, and she did not get her $1.85 million. So I can understand why she's upset and wants us to boycott Netflix, but the reasons that she gave, one reason is that they're being gender biased, meaning because she's a woman. They're offering her less money because they're offering Dave Chappelle on the same film $20 million. So how does that hold water? Are they gender biased? Because there's a woman who, I forget her name. I don't even really want to say her name because I don't know her name. I forget her name, but I guess she's a famous white woman comedian, and I'm not really trying to blow her name up. But she is getting paid millions. I don't know if they offered her $5 million, and she said that, well, I don't expect to get paid as much as Dave Chappelle or man, but, she made them come up more, so she got paid some more millions. So, is that really gender biased if there's another woman making millions? And she also said the second reason she wants everyone to boycott Netflix is that they're being color biased. Now, they're paying Dave Chappelle $20 million. Does that really hold water? I don't know, people. These are just questions running through my head. Does Monique Parker deserve to make as much as Dave Chappelle and this other white Caucasian comedian woman? Maybe she should kind of do her own thing. I think of this example of Oprah Winfrey. When she was just starting out in her broadcasting days or whatever, she's part of a show. I don't know if it was CBS, whatever, morning show or one of those types of shows, or some kind of news anchor role she had, where they wanted to only pay her half of what they were paying her male coworker. And she approached them one day like, I want more money. And they looked to her like, well, Dave or whoever his name was, he has a family and he has children and he has to pay for this and pay for that. You don't have children, do you? she's like, no. So they're like, well, why do you need to make as much money as Dave? I'm just saying Dave for just, his name, I don't know what his name was, but so she pretty much took a chance and started her own thing, right? And she hasn't looked back since. And she made a name for herself. She created her own lane. She didn't sit back begging. And I think that's what MoNique needs to do. She needs to look to what Oprah Winfrey did when Dave or whoever was being paid more than she was being paid. And in this case, Dave Chappelle is being paid more than she's being paid. Well, do what Oprah did. That's my advice. You can't sit back and expect these Netflix people. You're saying they're showing gender and racial biasness. They're biased. I mean, if the owners of Netflix is Caucasian, I mean, do you really call that? Can you call that biased? I mean, because they want to pay people that look like them to, be featured on their network. And then Dave Chappelle is obviously black, or Hebrew. So I'm just not thinking that this, color biased, gender biased is holding any water. I'm sorry, MoNique. I think your argument is just a little weak. But I support you, my sister. Keep doing your thing. Now, if you're saying that black women are being paid less in Hollywood, maybe other black women need to come forward. I mean, are there other black women saying the same thing? Or I'm reading that MoNique got blackballed somehow. So if it's black women as a whole, if there's that many women that are not making as much as the men and other races, then why can't black women get together and start their own, network? Just a thought. I'm curious, what are your thoughts? Do you think MoNique should be paid millions of dollars because other people in the film are being paid millions of dollars? And she has received an Oscar. I'm not sure if the other lady has received an Oscar. I thought it was a very raunchy role that she played, by the way, that they decided to give her an Oscar for. Same thing with Halle Berry, playing a white man's whore or whatever, where she kind of went topless or something, and she got an Oscar for that role she played. And it's all the same with these Oscars. But anyways, should she be paid millions because she received an Oscar from Precious? Your thoughts. I'm curious what you guys think. Or should she start her own network, her own production company? Should she do her own directing? Should she kind of do her own thing? I think she should do her own thing. I think that would be a much better look for her, and she would gain much more support. So, anyways, that's my time. You guys leave comments. I'm curious to know what your thoughts are. Should MoNique get paid millions, or should she start her own production company? All right, love you guys. Shalom.